Hi guys, and welcome to another video by Vegan and Frodo. Hope you're enjoying the sky behind me. Hope you can hear me. Even though I know there are some dogs barking, it's something I cannot control. I cannot. I would say I cannot talk to animals, but with some animals you can definitely talk and they understand you and interact with you. Like today I was riding and there was like I was out and around and adventuring basically, and there was this calf and like I leaned my bike over because I was running around trying to find some water, and this calf started trying to eat my bike and they dropped the bike, and I was like, oh my god, calf, like don't do that please. And I took 1,001 photos of it and loads and loads of videos, so you'll see that in one of the vlogs from my American trip. Anyway, this video is not about calves or animals. However, all my videos in a way are about compassion and love, which includes love and compassion for everyone and everything that is around you, like human animals and non-human animals, right? Like everyone you get to interact with and have a pleasure of interacting with every single day. So anyway, this video is about relationships, and more specifically something that got me thinking about it, not just in general living life kind of purpose, but something that I've read recently, like just a few weeks ago, Korenina by Tolstoy. So that is like this huge piece of literature. Basically, it's written by a Russian author, Leo Tolstoy, and I don't know if you guys heard it. Some people haven't heard of it. A lot of people have heard of it. They also made like a Hollywood movie remake of it, using with what's her name, Keira Knightley as Anna is the main heroine. But anyway, what that book is about, very very quickly in the summary, is there is this woman called Anna, and the whole picture, like what's the word for it, the place where the book is staged is Russia mostly, and it's kind of back in old days, 150 years ago, within the Russian elite. And basically Anna is one of these elite, really wealthy women that is married to a good man but no longer loves them. She doesn't feel in love. She got married very very young and he is a lot older than her, but they have a son together. So that is going on. And then at the same time there is this other, so it's like almost two storylines to it, but like there's also this other kind of situation going on over here where there is this young girl named Katie, well no, let's say that, and there's like a couple of guys who are interested in her. One is like a good steady man. He's got all these great amazing qualities. He's great with the tools. He's very smart. He's very kind. He loves her and he wants to take care of her. But then there is this other guy who is just like super wealthy and all around super duper popular, and all the girls like find him attractive and stuff, and he flirts with Katie and they'll like whatever, they have balls, so they dance a lot and flirt a lot. And then this woman, Anna, so she's like already a woman, but this Katie girl she's like 18-year-old girl. She comes into the picture, and this young guy ends up, I don't know how to say like the name for that title in English right now. I should have thought of it, but anyway, so there's this young guy. He's like one of those rankings in the military. So he ends up really falling for Anna, and there's all this stuff going on, and the good guy proposes to Katie, but Katie is flirting with this other guy, like let's call him elite guy. So she's into this elite guy, but then he ends up just playing her around. But then Katie rejects an offer from this first guy, and there's a lot of guy in this sentence I just said. But anyway, long story short, Anna falls for this military elite guy, right? And they end up having an affair. And then there's that relationship, I guess, so of a married woman cheating on her husband, but then is it following your heart or whatever, like. And then this Katie ends up, there's like a whole lot of things that happens, and she ends up marrying this really nice, awesome guy. And then there's like these two relationships, right, that you'll watch through the entire book, because the book is massive. there's the whole Anna and how she has the child with the husband, but then there's the whole battle of them getting divorced and not making it work and all that stuff. And then she travels around with this elite military guy, and then that doesn't end up working out because they both are not very happy, because she's trying to chase something. She has a child from him, but she is lingering about the first child that she had from the first marriage. So it's all kind of all up and down, and they're fighting and they're not working out. And then you also at the same time in parallel have this incredible relationship between this young girl Katie and this gentleman that she ends up marrying, and you also watch their relationship and how they go through their issues and their difficult phases. And that also, I found that very interesting, kind of listening into different relationship experiences and what specific actions. I mean, I know it's a book, but it still talks about very, very lively kind of situations. And what even surprises me even more is how the author, Tolstoy, he knows how the woman thinks a lot, because the main character is the woman, right? So there's a lot of thoughts, a lot of self-talking to herself and things like that going through her mind, because the main character is the woman, right? So that amazed me, how well he describes specific situations of what a woman would think or say, because then while you read being a female, like I'm like, oh, this is how I would probably feel, you know, or trying to relate to it in one way. Not that I can, but some, you know, things and experiences that happen. Anyway, moral of the story, at the end of the whole thing, she ends up being unhappy with this guy, she's not happy with the husband, and she ends up jumping in front of a train and committing suicide, which I think is crazy, because all this time she's been running around trying to figure out her personal life and forgetting about the fact that she has children, and that should be more of a priority. But at the same time, not saying that people should stay together when they're not happy because of the children, right? Because the kids would feel that as well. And you do want, as a kid, or like you would want your kids to have, to see good relationship between males and females, and good relationship at home as well, right? So, because that's how they learn. They're learning from whatever they're experiencing right now. Anyway, that got me thinking of all the different things and different lessons that you can learn from other people in relationships. And I made a point of starting to ask all the people I see around myself, and see them in long-term relationships, or, you know, what I would think are successful relationships, you know, if they've been together for like 30, 40 years, you know, your parents like friends, or your grandparents friends, or whatever. And then asking them for like advice, asking them, so what is it that you think that made your relationship work? What is it that you think that made you guys love each other so much for such a long time and be happy, and not just like run around trying chasing something illusionary? And some answers were having time to yourself and making sure that each person, yes, you're working towards the same goal and you have the same kind of projects and things on the go, but at the same time you also allow time for both parties to have your own little thing to work on and grow in your own ways, so you're still interesting to each other, and at the same time you're doing some things that you want in life that potentially your partner might not be interested in doing right now with you. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of respect and compromise and just acceptance, I guess, loving unconditionally, and seeing not just the outer shell, right, that we often see, or maybe in a way get trained to see by the society these days, but also like seeing that inner person, that soul, and like really what you want to be falling in love with, the soul, not just the outer shell. If the person looks pretty, or the person dresses nicely, or they have cool hobbies, like sure, those things have their own merit, right? They're important up to a level, not necessarily like specifically attractiveness, but right, like as long as the person's attractive to you, like it's all that matters. Same as the interests, like, right, some people might think specific interests are boring and others will think they're interesting. So it's like a bit of a balancing kind of juggling thing. And at the same time, people change through life, right? They develop new interests. They get really deep into something and they completely forgot about something else. That's like another thing. It's forever growing and forever learning and experimenting and experiencing life and becoming the true version of yourself that you want to be, you want to deliver into this world, and want to be presented in this world. So, what was I even saying? Importance of time to yourself, yes, but at the same time, so you don't want to be falling in love with just the outer, right? Outer, being attracted to it and being interested in it and loving that is awesome and it's important, but you want to be falling in love with the inner self, with the thing that it sits inside, deep inside the person. And when you truly love that, when you meet the person who is completely and totally, utterly right for you, I feel like it won't be even a question. If you're asking the question, then it's probably, you know the answer already if you have to ask it. And if it's obviously like weighing ups and downs and all that stuff as well, I guess, but at the same time, if you're asking a question, then you probably already know the answer. But yeah, appreciating people for what they are, who they are, and being yourself. See, that's another thing. Sometimes we try to like pretend be someone else in order for other people to like us, but then once they do, you just like, oh crap, now I have to pretend to be this person. And you can't pretend forever, like, because it's too damn hard. Like, what's the point of life if all you do is pretend to be something you're not? So what you really want is the person who you can be with, who you can be your true self with, and you accept them, like, and they're being their true self with you, and that's just beautiful. And if you love the soul, if you fall in love with the soul of the person, the inner, of course that takes time, and that takes the person actually understanding themselves enough as well. But if you fall in love and see through whatever it is, the ruffles and buffles around, and you fall in love with the inner self of the person, and you also love their outer, whatever they're into, whatever they're interested in, and vice versa, working both ways. I think that's something beautiful. And yeah, just appreciating each other, respecting, compromising, allowing time for your time individually, but as well as thinking of the common goals, common purposes in life, in the world together, so you guys can just make each other better people, really. Inspire them to be their true selves, inspire them to encourage them, like even, encourage them to do what they want to do in life, encourage them to be who they want to be, and vice versa, them doing the same for you. I think that would make a relationship beautiful. And we started talking about Korenina. Always these things just kind of rumbles on and runs away, the subject, isn't it? There's a lot of trucks riding around. It's also getting a bit dark, so you guys can barely see me, so I should probably stop the video and start uploading some things and maybe editing a couple of other vids. But love talking to you, love seeing you. Hope this video was interesting and entertaining for you, or jolted some kind of ideas in your mind. Always love and accept you, and if you want to try and be a better version of you, as I think everyone should, and just be true to yourself, speak from an open, loving heart with compassion and love and appreciation of others. And I'm sure that if you want to, and if you're ready, you will meet the right person, the true person that is completely and totally destined for you from the higher universe, from the higher powers. If the person's yours, they will be yours no matter what. Like, there won't be even an ability to get rid of them, if you know what I mean. They will just be yours. Like they'll be there. You'll be meeting them over and over again if you guys are not together yet, and it will all just happen, and it'll be easy, and it'll be beautiful. Anyway, I should stop ranting on, and hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day, and I found this video interesting. See you again soon.